Now let us see how to add a new node to an existing cluster. If you recollect, we started with 8 servers. We have provisioned 8 servers from cloud. However, we only used 7 servers to set up the cluster. Now we'll actually add a new node to the existing cluster. For that, I'm going to my GCP account because we are using that predominantly for most of the demonstrations. And I'm starting the 8th server. Once it is started, we need to ensure that we are able to connect to this 8th server using passwordless login from the gateway node of our cluster. I'm already on the gateway node of the cluster, and we have already copied this file called Google Compute Engine, which is nothing but a private key. As all the servers have the same key already copied as part of the setup process, we should be able to use ssh-i .ssh Google Compute Engine and then Big Data Server -8 and hit enter. And we are in the Big Data Server 8 now. As the passwordless login is already enabled between the gateway node and this 8th server, we can go to Cloudera Manager and then you can go to hosts, all hosts, and then you can click on add new host to cluster. And then you can say continue. You can say Big Data Server -8, search, click on continue. We will be using this matched release for this Cloudera Manager server. It will take care of setting up using whatever release it should use. If you want to specify custom repository, you can specify custom repository as well. We can click on continue. We have to accept this JDK license. In this case, we will be using another user, which is nothing but ITversity. All hosts accept same private key, so we have to choose this. And our private key is nothing but Google Compute Engine. We have to choose this, say choose, and then hit continue. Irrespective of number of hosts you want to add, you can follow the same process. When it prompts for us to add IP addresses or DNS aliases, we can add as many servers as we want, either by using IP addresses like this or the aliases like this, which we have entered to add this one server. There is no limitation that we can add only one server at a time. We can add as many servers as we want. Now it is taking care of installing the Cloudera Manager agent and also CDH on this host also. However, on remaining hosts, we have JDK 1.8, whereas here it will set up JDK 1.7 to begin with. If we have to upgrade JDK 1.8 for whatever reason, we have to do so. Otherwise, we might run into few issues. To avoid these unforeseen issues, it might be a good idea to install JDK 1.8 on this new server first and then add host using this wizard. That will avoid those unforeseen issues while adding new hosts. However, for now we will actually live with whatever we are performing in this case, where we are trying to set up JDK 1.7, Cloudera Manager agent and CDH on this host. Meanwhile, you can go to the gateway node of our cluster. As we are using Ansible to take care of certain mundane tasks such as validations, installing packages, etc., we have to update our Ansible repository. So in this case, I'm going to this setup cluster and then open this host file. For now, I'll be adding only to all and came out of this. And to validate that we are able to connect to this 8th host also, I want to run Ansible all -i hosts -a hostname -s and then private key equal to .ssh Google Compute Engine. You can see that even on 8th, it actually ran this hostname -f command and gave the output. Now the installation is completed successfully. We can hit continue. You can see that parcels are being set up. It is downloaded, distributed, unpacked, but not activated. So we have to expand this and see what is going on here. It is still going through that process. Actually, only downloaded is done. Now it is actually going through the distribution process. Once the distribution is done, it will unpack and probably it will also activate all these parcels on this 8th host, Kafka, Spark 2 and CDH 5 or CDH 5.15. As part of the CDH 5.15, you will get many ecosystem tools and technologies such as Hive, Scoop, Woozy, etc. As of now, CDH is distributed, but still Spark 2 and Kafka has to be distributed, and also we might have to wait until these are unpacked and activated on our cluster. So far, CDH and Kafka are set up. You can see that with respect to CDH, it is downloaded, distributed, unpacked and activated. With respect to Kafka, it is downloaded, distributed, and it seems to be unpacked also. And right now it might be activated on this host. After that, it has to take care of Spark 2 as well. Spark 2 is not started the distributed state yet. So we need to wait until Spark 2 is also distributed, unpacked, and activated on our clusters. Unfortunately, with the parcels, you did not get much of the details about the progress. Except this progress bar moving around, you don't get a lot of details. Whereas with packages, we tend to get what is going on at any point in time. Whereas with the parcels, that is not the case. We have to wait until this complete process is done. Now, even Spark 2 is downloaded, distributed, and unpacked. We are waiting to get it to be activated on this 8th host. And then we can actually go to the next stage by clicking on continue here. Now, all these components, CDH5, Spark 2, Kafka, are downloaded, distributed, unpacked, and activated on the 8th host. And hence we can click on continue here. It will run the host inspector on this 8th host, including the other hosts also. We have to just review the warnings. If you want to address those warnings, we can address those immediately. And then we can go to the next step by clicking on continue. Let's wait until the host inspector is run. You can see that swappiness is not disabled on this server. And also the transparent huge page compaction is not disabled. And also with respect to Java, on Big Data Server 8, we have JDK 1.7. But we need to have JDK 1.8, not 1.7. So that we can actually set up Spark if it is needed, and then we have to take it further. Without JDK 1.8, we will not be able to set up Spark 2 on this Big Data Server 8, especially the component with respect to the Spark 2. So let's address these issues and then we'll take it further. So the first issue is we have to disable swappiness. For that, we can connect to this 8th server from the gateway node, and then you can run this command called sudo sysctl vm.swappiness equal to 0. Let us see the command here. We have to specify equal to 0 without spaces. Now it worked fine. On top of this, we also need to update etc sysctl conf vm.swappiness equal to 0. Then we have to disable the transparent huge page compaction by running this command. I can say sudo bash -c and then paste this command and then close the double quotes. Make sure you review this by using cat command. You can see that it is changed to never. We also need to run this command. We can also review the information from this file. We also have to update rc.local with these two commands and then save it and come out of this. So we have disabled swappiness and also we have disabled transparent huge page compaction. Now we have to set up JDK 1.8. For the instructions, we can actually go to the one of the earlier lessons, which is nothing but the Spark overview and installation. In this, we have the instructions with respect to setting up JDK 1.8. So let's search for it. The way you can set up JDK 1.8 is by running this wget command. We have to download the RPM file. So let's do that. There is no wget here and hence we have to install wget. Once the wget is installed, we can actually run this wget command to download the RPM file. Once the RPM is downloaded, we can actually run this RPM IVH command to install JDK 1.8 on this host. As we are dealing with only one host, instead of using Ansible, I am running manually on this one host. And we can pick up the commands directly from these instructions. As the JDK RPM is downloaded, now we can actually run this command to install using Red Hat Package Manager. I have to use sudo here. Now it is installing JDK 1.8 on our Big Data Server 8 host. We also need to remove 1.7 JDK. So this is the command which will help us in removing JDK 1.7. This is another command which you might have to consider. So depending upon the version of JDK we have to delete that. Now the J2 SDK 1.7 from Oracle is uninstalled from this server, and we can actually go here, click on run again, and then you should not see those warnings anymore. You can see that everything is clean except for Java version 6 not supported for CDH5. You must use Java version 7. And it is with respect to Big Data Server 1. There we have both JDK 1.6 and 1.8, and hence it is okay. We can ignore that warning. As all the warnings are addressed, we can click on continue. And if we have host template, we can use that template, or we can create a new template and we can take it further. So in this case, I'm using none, and also I'm disabling this and clicking on continue. Now it is taking care of setting up this one with the client configurations of each and every service. It is not configuring any component by itself. While it is deploying this client configuration, or as it is already done, we can click on finish, and we can review. The Big Data Server 8 only have the client deploy configurations, but there are no roles here. So the configuration files are deployed, but no roles yet on this Big Data Server 8. So now we have to configure the components of the services so that we can actually start using this host for our big data services. For that, first you need to make sure whether you want to use this server as a gateway or a master or a worker. If it is gateway, you just have to configure as gateway for multiple services. For example, if you want to configure this as a gateway for HDFS or MapReduce, what you are supposed to do is you just go to the service by going to the dashboard and clicking on the service, and then you can click on instances. You can see that as of now we have masters and slaves on Big Data Server 1 through Big Data Server 7. Actually it is from Big Data Server 2 through Big Data Server 7, and then gateway is configured on Big Data Server 1, but there is no Big Data Server 8 here. So if you want to add the Big Data Server 8 as a gateway, you just click on add role instances here. It will show all the components with respect to HDFS. We can choose the gateway and we can choose this Big Data Server 8 to configure it as gateway for HDFS. Same is the case with Yarn. If you want to configure it as gateway for Yarn, you can actually go to the Yarn service and then you can go to instances, click on add role instances, choose the Big Data Server 8 as host, and then click on OK, and then click on continue, and then finish. So if it is gateway, it is pretty straightforward. You just have to add the server as gateway for given services wherever it is possible. Once that is done, we just have to click on this tail configuration icon and we just have to say deploy client configuration, and from that point the Big Data Server 8 will be the gateway for HDFS and other services whatever is configured. In this case we have configured HDFS and Yarn gateways on Big Data Server 8. Now when it comes to the other two categories such as master and worker, it is a bit complicated, especially with respect to the master. You need to understand the architecture of the service and move the master component onto that host if you want to use Big Data Server 8 as master. For example, as of now we have Big Data Server 2, Big Data Server 3 and Big Data Server 4 as masters. If you want to review what all are there on Big Data Server 2, 3 and 4, you can go to hosts, click on all hosts, and you can actually go through each of these hosts such as Big Data Server 2, 3 and 4 by expanding these roles, and you should be able to understand what all master components are there on these 2, 3 and 4. When it comes to 2, we have HBase master, we have HDFS name node, we have Zookeeper server. So these three are the master components which we have. On Big Data Server 3, we have HBase master, we have HDFS name node, we have Impala state store, we have Yarn resource manager as well as Zookeeper server. With respect to Big Data Server 4, we have HBase master, Hive Metastore server, Hive server 2, Impala catalog server, Yarn resource manager, Yarn job history server and Zookeeper server. These many master components are there on Big Data Server 4. So now as Big Data Server 3 and Big Data Server 4 have too many master components, let's say I want to use this additional server as one of the masters. In that case, we need to reconcile our masters and we have to move as many services as possible onto them. The first priority should be for the Yarn resource manager, because typically on the servers where NameNode is running, we don't run resource manager. Resource managers will be separated from the servers where NameNode is running. So first preference will be to move the resource manager if you want to add Big Data Server 8 as master server. So we have to use Cloudera manager and move the components around to consider the new server as master. Typically, adding servers for masters is not that common. However, adding servers as slaves is very common. When it comes to adding servers as slaves, we have to identify all the slave components. In our case, the slave components are data node for HDFS, Impala D for Impala, node manager for Yarn, HBase region server for HBase. All these slave components should be configured on this new host to consider it as additional worker node on our cluster.